a big question. I don't deep these kind of things, man. As much, because I'm not having those kind of conversations a lot. But I guess just for me, a level of like open-mindedness and just understanding, like and maturity as well. Because I think when you're able to have conversations like this, you're more aware of like things like morals and rules that you live by from the get-go. So you kind of know where it's going. But like I said, like starting off as friends is probably like a better thing for me because I'm like that as a person. Like I'm just like slow and steady. Like I don't like to like
Very
rush
slow and
into
steady.
things.
Steady. This episode's gonna be long.
Yeah. But slow and steady, man. I like to like definitely ask questions as well like this, like because you just get a different perspective. From
Especially
certain
as
things.
men, because men don't talk. Men don't talk unless it's about
Nah,
foolishness. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Men are not comfortable enough to sit down and have very harsh conversations with other men, mainly for the fact because there's a threat of violence. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of conversations which can go left because male ego and male pride gets in the way. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of questions that brothers have not had with brothers, and I'm guilty of this, where we could have solved things that are from 5, 6, 7 years ago,
Okay, yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
which aren't necessarily the end of the world, but it clears the air. So wherever you lot stand on it, it's like I don't chat to my man, and we've spoken about it as men, and we can leave it as men. Do you get what I'm saying? Without outside influences as well, because a lot of people change their behavior on who is around them, which I think is quite dangerous as well. But that's a separate conversation. I think once you're comfortable and know thyself as a man and your role as a man, then you can know what to look for in a woman. Because if you know yourself, you can know what it like is an array of different things. Do you get
You
what I'm
set
saying?
boundaries, you know how to interact with certain people, like in certain situations, how to move correct. I definitely agree with you. I think in terms of knowing yourself, I think that's a journey that you'll go through for a lifetime.
It
But
never stops.
It never stops.
It is never stagnant.
Yeah.
But you can pick people up along the way and necessarily drop them, and vice versa. People can drop you.
Yeah, you'll get to a point in your life, like at this stage where we're at now, getting into workspaces and, just trying to figure out things like where we want to go and that, where you have an idea, at the very least, of who you are and where you're trying to go, and then who the people that you're trying to include in that journey as well. And from that, it's like, you'll have at least an idea of like the kind of woman that you'd want to like be around and like spend time with.
100%, and what you stand on.
Yeah,
Because men need to stand for something.
you got a
And it
purpose,
doesn't have to
innit?
be an ultra militant stance, or it needs to be anything political, but what is the thing that you stand on? Like, what are the things you die for?
Yeah, your purpose, man.
What's your purpose?
Because if you're just out here and it's like, just living, bro.
I remember a Nipsey Hussle bar said, it's something along the lines of, you need to find your purpose or live your purpose or you're wasting air. Like, to first time ears, that might sound very harsh, doesn't it? But when you analyze what he's saying, it's, you know what? I can understand that, because what else in life are you meant to do? Apart from procreate and continue your legacy, because we're designed to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? We are encoded to do that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same way I tell man that everything in nature comes pre-coded. Like a tree, the seeds of an apple tree grows and it doesn't randomly start to grow plums, blood.
Yeah.
you get
like it knows how to grow because it's been.
It's in its genetic coding. It's not taught how to do that. But the way we have been socialized in this European cultural universe is
shaped.
that we are now having to taught how to be people. And we're having to re-teach ourselves on what we were before they were there.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this system works for European people because it's them. And the time it doesn't work is because there's flaws within their own society. So stuff like classism, sexism, Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting debate. And it's when I find a lady, it's like, can you hold these debates with me? And even if you don't agree with me, we can have them as adults. Or is it, are you gonna start shouting at me? Or I might lose my temper again and shout at you. Or can we do that?
Random question. How much would you be willing to compromise?
In what regard?
So, I guess a woman whose morals are, I guess, closely aligned with you, but there's certain aspects that she's not, like, really with. I don't know. I couldn't give, like, a specific scenario, but, like, something where...
I get what you mean, though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you know me. You know my kind of belief system.
Yeah.
And, you know, to some people, it might seem quite extreme.
Yeah.
So, not everyone's going to agree with necessarily all the talking points. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We've even had discussions in terms of my own mother. We agree on like 98% of stuff, but there's 2 or 3 things she said fundamentally disagree with you. I said, okay. Do you know what I'm saying? But I stand on my square because I can back it up. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm willing to compromise if the compromise is made up for in other areas. And if there's a justifiable reason for why you're compromising. Can't just compromise for the sake of compromising.
Can you imagine that conversation, fam?
Like, there's no point just
It's debate.
He's debating on Earth.
Because what's the point of just compromising for the sake of compromising? That is meaningless.
To them, it would mean something though, because it's not just compromising for the sake of compromising, isn't it?
Has to be the mean. That's what you're saying.
But yeah, because otherwise I might as well just compromise everything. Essentially.
Yeah.
And then,
I'd have to give a very specific
then
example.
it goes back to this: what do I stand on? Do I stand on what I say, or am I wishy-washy? Am I a part-time?
Okay. I'm thinking of something very deep here, so I'm not sure how it will go. But
Sorry, I saw an interview with RV of all people and Easy Mills, and he made a good. And you lot might think this is in no way related, but I'm gonna try and link it back.
spin it back.
RV said no one can be a bad boy 24/7. You know,
Yeah.
no one can be a bad boy 24/7. Like, you get man in terms of their sister, their mom, their girl. There's gonna be a time they turn that off. So I acknowledge that I can't be on my square 25/8. But when I am on my square, I'm on my square. Do you get it?
Okay.
And I think when it's part of my life and how I live my life and how I'm trying to change my life, I think it is important enough to recognize, like, I'm not going to tell someone who enjoys dancing, should just give up dancing. Do you know what I'm saying? And that brings it back to the conversation we had last time with Craig of, if I fundamentally dislike your music and that's your passion, that's your love, why am I with you? If I can't stand it, if it's playing, I'm like...
But what did I say? I said, yeah, like, because you gave me an example of a woman that said, okay, I don't like your music, like, it's not for me. I can respect that you're doing your thing and that, you know, other people like it and I get why they like it. I just personally don't like it, yeah. For me, if someone said that, yeah, that's a very mature and, like, understanding response, because although they don't see what I see in my music, they know that other people see something and they can respect that, you know, I'm doing my thing and that I'm enjoying it, and you know that's just that, innit? They don't have to be included in it. They just have to respect that I'm doing it. And for me, because music is a big part of my life, you know, I would look at that and say, like, you know, then I want to see, like, your taste in music and how that reflects on you, because I feel like music is a big part. It's a big part of everyone's life, but like in different ways. For me, it's like I understand it on a different kind of level. Like, I'm listening to it, like, it's like the beat, the lyrics, and then how that all meshes together, and then the context behind it. And so, you know, other people, although they listen to it on a more casual level, it's like you still listen to music every day, like you'll hear it somewhere. And so when you're around the certain music that you listen to and you consume it, and even if you're not internalizing the lyrics, it's something that you like take in. That's what you consume kind of does shape who you are. It
does. It entirely shapes.
And I'm looking at the woman and I'm gonna ask her, like, so what type of music do you listen to? What is it that you like take in, and try to go from there in it. I think, you know, most times I'm open-minded in general, so like I'll just be like, you know, that's cool. I understand you don't like my music and your taste is your taste. We can go from there in it. 9 times out of 10.
I agree with you to an extent. I think it's just when something's your life's work, it brings us back to the conversation we had about the podcast and show Barden and them, man.
Yeah.
If you're not into the life's work like I'm into the life's work. Not the same level, but you just simply don't respect that it's my life's work. We can't really continue on the same
That's
journey.
different though, because what I was saying is she respects that, you know, other people like it. She respects that I'm doing my thing and she's happy for that. She don't have to like it.
I'm not
but
saying she has to like it.
Because
but-
with Rory and Mal, they clearly don't respect him.
But like I could pose a counter argument of they believe they are respecting him as their friend, as he's their friend, and they're still turning up and doing the podcast.
That's not enough though. It's
But
clearly
it's
not enough.
different. But she
it's
might say, oh well, it's not. Sorry, the person might say it's not enough to just like respect my music. I need someone who actually can see the vision, not be involved, because it's not about being involved. I don't think you should be involved in the same thing like your partner's doing, unless you lot both love it with equal amount of love or near enough the equal amount of love, because it'll get techie.
I feel like you can support them. I feel like you can support them with what they're doing.
I've seen a lot of couples do the same thing. Like I've seen a lot of teachers, so like of a history of whatever, like politics, together, and I think that makes sense and they're teaching the same sort of things. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've seen it. So
Okay.
I think it can work. I think it's just that passion needs to be the same, and they got to be doing their own thing within that same realm or field.
But what you're saying is like, so the example that I was giving and then that you gave as well, like Rory and Mal, they don't respect his thing, but then you're saying to counter, like the woman could say, you know, you don't respect my thing enough because you're not like involved in it, or you're not.
It's not so much involved.
You're not
it's
seeing
just-
the vision.
It's the support. It's like, how would you feel if the girl didn't go to your shows? How would you feel if you put out a record and it's like, yeah, like it's...
If she supports in her own way, because there's things like, say I'm an artist and she don't come to my shows, yeah. Like, no, I would feel the ways about that, but then if she's gonna like at least like promote the thing, or like there's other things she can do essentially is what I'm saying.
There's
She
also-
don't need to come to the show.
Maybe being like a musician in terms of an artist perspective, I can tell you there's some promotion which is just done because it's been asked to. And there's promotion like out of love. I'm trying to move.
Oh,
you
genuine love, yeah.
And I've seen both type of promotions, and I've seen like a promotion when it's like, "Hey bro, I beg you post my thing, just tag them or whatever." It doesn't have to be just that. There's no love in the promotion. It's just man are just flinging it up because I've been asked to, and I'm gonna be very honest. I've done that with some people's thing.
Oh yeah.
I've definitely done that with some people's thing. So
I've done that.
apologies if I've done that to you, or if you feel like I've done that to you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't really apologize. It happened.
Say nothing, gangster.
What happened happened.
Say
We
nothing,
can move
bad
on.
boy. What you saying?
We can
Then
move
I
on.
take back my talk.
But in terms of the whole support thing, I think it would be a bit techie, like, because I can't even speak from an artist perspective, because if you're on stage, it's a different kind of.
I'm not even talking about stage. I'm talking about just putting out tunes, especially
No. But
independent.
I'm talking about being on stage and then your girl's not supporting you. That would be a different kind of thing, man. I'd feel a ways about that. But then, for me personally, in terms of the production thing, yeah, like studio sessions or moments where I'm in the room with big people, yeah, I'm not expecting her to. She don't need to be there.
It's not about that. Nah, it's not about that.
What is it?
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I'm kind of agreeing with you, saying it's not about those big for her.
Yeah, it's showing up for. I say just showing up for the little. Like, okay, say I'm working from home. Like, I'm in a place where like I have a studio at home, so I'm in those moments. I'm in that place where like I can do that. Artists can come to my studio, or they can just send me stuff, and I'm working from home and doing that. Yeah. It'll be the little things that I do around it. Like, obviously, like I'm not gonna be in the studio 24/7. I'm gonna come out and like just, you know, like try to like fix myself something, or just like I'm around the house in it, and she's there helping me, support me out, asking me questions like, how's things going? Is everything good? Did you get the music to the artist? Is everything alright? Like all of that stuff. That's what I'd appreciate more, because obviously if she doesn't like the music, I'm not gonna drag her to no, you know, meeting. I'm not gonna drag her to no big thing like a release party or whatever. Like, she don't need to be there because she don't enjoy the music in the first place. But everything else she does around it, yeah, that would tell me that she's actually like, she's with it, because she didn't need to do that. Like, those are things I can do. Small things I can do for myself, but she's willing to help out with
But that's
around
still
it.
supporting, you know. I'm talking about a person that don't actually support your music.
Oh, then
Like,
when you say don't support, like how?
A person's appreciate. There's enough artists who I appreciate their thing, but I would never support them because it doesn't align with my either moral code or whatever. I just simply don't like.
Do you
their
mean
music.
just appreciate the effort or the whole vision itself?
I think just even as a support system, like if I say, I've had a tough day in the studio, no, not me, but artist says I have a tough day in the studio, and she goes, oh, okay, babe.
You told them. Sometimes they want to say, you guys want to say that because you want.
I think
You want that support there. You want
people can understand on a different level without having to understand the whole vision. They don't have to listen to you like go on about like your whole thing and go, wow, like I'm deep in everything and you're right. Because like if they do, then that's probably good because they can grow from not respecting or not understanding your thing to actually understanding it, and then they can actually like it. But then they could do a thing where like you're explaining it and they're like, right, I don't understand it, but there's elements of it that I actually understand and I agree with you on.
And that's more honest. I'll respect that more.
Do you get what I mean? They can
respect
do
that more.
that, and that would be good.
If we're gonna shift the convo on a little bit, what is it in regard to other values? Like, would you position yourself as a traditional man who wants a traditional woman? And then again, we have to question that because whose idea of traditional are we talking?
Yeah, no.
Or would you rather not do that?
No.
Say none.
No. I mean, no, I say that, yeah. It's kind of just whatever comes my way and whatever I fall into.
So you're kind of gonna react
Um,
and adjust. Or
almost.
I could be wrong.
I think it's a mix of things, like adjust, but also learn from it and see how I'm actually dealing with it. Because in the situation, you kind of learn about you learn about yourself more in it.
Of course.
So you'll see how you're reacting. You'll see what other people, like close people, say about you because like they're the ones that also know you in like your darkest moments or like moments where you had to come to them for something.
True.
And so when you're like adding all of that up together, you're sort of discerning like, okay, like, am I with the right person? Am I myself when I'm with that person as well? Because it is just about being yourself as well in that situation.
It's interesting. I think for me as well, I'm a big one of intelligent. Not gonna lie,
Some more, please.
but interrupted me.
No, I'm listening. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of what other facets to me draw me in. I think a wide range of intelligence. So not how do I put this so it makes sense? Because there's a difference between trained and truly educated. You get what I'm saying? There are a lot of trained folk, very well trained.
Like they've gone through like the school system. They know everything.
Very,
They
very
understand them
well
kind of-
trained.
Yeah.
But there's no worldliness about them. And I feel like a lot of truly intellectual people have no formal training because they have to go out and train
Is that like
themselves.
life experience or just?
In terms of the people I study, the people that I've met, and spoken to, it's not all okay. There's a lot of educated people in the education system. They managed to use this dog shit education and twist it around for them. So I think it's just the intellect and the emotional intelligence, because I highly lack that. I'm gonna be honest.
Emotional intelligence.
Very much so.
That's very honest. Yeah.
So that's where I feel I'd need some support. And I think it's been a choice on my part because I can't think of anything. Now, there's been things, but I've kind of been too manly about it. It's too
You mean like
stereotypical
situations
stuff.
where you didn't handle it?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I haven't cried in years. I've not cried since about 2014, 2015, maybe.
Serious?
Mum's life.
Wow.
Mum's
That's
life.
wild.
Mum's life. Like, if it's not, it's definitely in one of those 2 years. I don't remember which one, but that's the last time I cried.
That's very serious. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, doesn't it? And I'm fully aware of people telling me, one day you're just gonna break down. I said, as soon as it happens, it happens.
I don't know if it will happen like that,
But it is.
but it will happen. But something, because
I'm
there
fully
was a
aware
period
of
where I just didn't cry in it, like at all. But it was like I think like high school and stuff in it. There was just a lot of stuff like going on in life that I'm not even that like was going on and that I was aware. I didn't understand it. And
also
I wasn't
just
even
couldn't cry
aware, so
in
I couldn't
secondary
cry.
school.
It just didn't like there was nothing in me to cry.
I just think you couldn't cry in that environment. I can talk from my experience.
No, for your experience, I think
like
more
in terms
for
of
you.
as a like going to a boys' school. Yeah, there's no such thing as crying.
Couldn't. No.
I mean, people did, but it was a weakness. Do you get what I'm saying? It's that type of setting where you don't get the opportunity to cry. But even then, I've kind of, I feel like I've got thick skin, or maybe I've just brushed it off. I don't know. Now, there's bare times where I should have cried and I didn't. Enough times, like I can count them. Bare times, but I didn't.